tuned in to Real Last Real Radio 104.1, your nightcap of comedy. My name is Ken Miller in the big chair tonight. Joined the virtual studio with my brother James Jean, comedian extraordinaire who was off last week, kicking it with his wife for her birthday. But we'll talk about that next segment because we got a special guest in virtual studio with us. He will be at the Orlando Improv this weekend, January 20th and 21st. Mr. Michael Rapaport.
Bro, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. How you guys doing?
Good, man, we doing better now that you're here, man. Come on.
Glad to be here. I appreciate it.
No, man. Thanks for being on, man. Dude, we start this off the same way, Mike. If you don't mind answering this question, we are all comic book guys, and we need to know the origin story. So, how long have you been doing comedy? Where did you start, and how was your first ever show?
Good question. Well, I started out doing comedy. That was the first thing I did as an entertainer. I when I was 19, I wanted to be the next Eddie Murphy, like a lot of entertainers, especially at that time, that grew up, with him being the biggest and the coolest and the most unique as a kid. Star. Yeah, I mean, he was a rock star.
Yeah.
And then I fell into acting quickly and fell in love with that, and that came very, very, very natural to me very quickly. And then I sort of got away from comedy, and then I started doing it again right before the pandemic, about a year before the pandemic, which is probably like 2019. And then obviously the pandemic. And then I, I fell back in love with it. I love doing it, and I'm back on the road. And I'm excited to be performing in Orlando. And as far as my first show, the first show I performed when I was 19, there was probably like 10 or 12 people in the audience. And, my only goal for that first show is if I can make one person laugh, just one person chuckle, I'm going to do it again. And I was able to do that. And, I love doing comedy. There's nothing like, performing in front of a live audience, because it's so, the adrenaline and the energy literally that you get from the audience and that the audience gives to you and that you give back to the audience. It's unlike anything else. And it's kind of like it's an unsolvable jigsaw puzzle to do comedy. You can do it for forever. as long as you're living and absorbing life and taking things in, I think you could do it forever. That's why I think comedians, do it, until they're sort of in the grave, because it's like you could always have something to say
until the wheels fall off. We just keep doing it.
Yeah. Exactly. So you did comedy, and then you you acted, took a break, and then came back to the game. Why did you decide, hey man, I'm still gonna do movies, but I wanted to get back into stand-up?
Because I think I had a lot to say. I wanted to find and do something where I had complete control, for better or for worse. When you're a comedian, you're the actor, you're the writer, you're the director, you're the editor, you're the costume, you're the stylist, you're everything. And I like that. And there's really no finger pointing, whereas with movie and television, there's so many factors that come into play. Like, this is just an immediate exchange between you and who's ever in front of you that night. And that's what I'm loving. I'm loving the expression of it, being able to just express yourself, in that sort of immediate way, with, like a tightrope. You're on a tightrope every show, so many things are out of your control. And so many things are in your control. And it's just, there's just like nothing like it, really. So I really, really enjoy it. And I'm glad I'm, back in it. And I'm glad I'm coming back to Orlando to the Improv to perform.
Nice. We got Michael Rapaport. He will be at the Orlando Improv January 20th and 21st. theimprovorlando.com to get your tickets. So when you started, you said you were 19 years old, took the break. Now you came back. Do you see any differences in comedy from when you were 19, I want to know, Ken, during that age of comedy to now, this age of comedy?
I think that, when you get on stage, comedy is comedy. And, I think, people, are going to laugh. It's not a response I think you have control of. You either respond to something or you don't. I think the business of comedy has changed tremendously because of social media, which I think is good for comedians, because you could get breaks and get exposed in many different ways. I think that the political correctness at times makes audience members even more afraid to laugh than it does even make comedians say things. you know, I've had a couple of times where I say something and you could see the people in the crowd like laughing and kind of look around like, oh, you know, am I going to be in trouble for laughing?
Facts.
Which I think is insane.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that people know the difference between something being funny and something being really, really derogatory or mean-spirited.
Absolutely.
And I don't think we need to be policed. I don't think audience members need to be policed. I think it's an outlet. And I think that, you know, you should go to a show and you should have a good time if you're a fan member. And you should, you know, if you're a comedian, you should try to be as honest as you possibly can and try to give as much as you can and take risks and chances.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
I like the fact that you still say that because there's a lot of comics, man, who are afraid right now to get canceled. So I'm gonna say this first off. I'm gonna give you flowers, sir. I'm pushing 50, so I know you and love you. Okay. I follow you for a long time, man. Happy that you're here. And you've never been a soft-spoken person. I've always considered you to be very outspoken. You speak your mind. So I was very curious to see how do you maneuver and how do you handle yourself nowadays with people being so sensitive out there? Because at any moment, you don't know when somebody's coming at you because of something that you said even 20 years ago, you know, let alone today.
I think you just have to just be genuine.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, you know, I mean, you know, I wasn't videotaped and recorded the way we are, you know, when I was younger. There's definitely things that I said that if we're taken out of context, I would be in trouble. Amen. For now, like a lot of people, you know, when you're younger. But, you know, I think I just try to be as honest as I possibly can. And like I said, I think people know the difference between speaking the truth, being funny, and being just maliciously mean-spirited and derogatory. I think people know that. I think you could tell by just tone.
Gotcha.
And people aren't stupid. Fans aren't stupid. And you know, we're adults, and I think adults can make adult decisions on what they react to. You know, the old pie in the face gag that, you know, was sort of, you know, every sort of cliche. It was the most cliche kind of laugh. Mm-hmm. You know, going back to I Love Lucy and everything else in between would be looked at as bullying now. You know, nice. and I think it's ridiculous. So I think people know what's funny and what's not funny, and what's mean and what's not mean.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. If you're listening, we got Michael Rapaport. He will be at the Orlando Improv January 20th, 21st. The ImprovOrlando.com. Get your tickets. You are bro. I went to your Wikipedia. You done been in everything. what was your favorite movie to do? Favorite movie that you did?
You know, it's hard to pick one. To be honest, I've had so many different experiences doing so many different things and working with so many different people. And, you know, it could have been just, 1 week on an episode of TV because I had fun with the actors and fun with the directors. Mm-hmm. When you look back, you know, movies like Higher Learning, a lot of fun just doing it, being with those other actors, being with the late, great John Singleton. It meant so much to me. Movies like Copland, TV shows, you know, Friends.
Bamboozled.
You know, the stuff that I'm doing now, and you know, I came into this as a fan, and I really have no bad experiences, to be honest with you. I mean, you have days where things suck or things don't go your way, or you might be in a bad mood, or this person might be in a bad mood, or you just didn't feel on your game. But in general, like, I'm so happy to be doing what I'm doing and to be doing it for so long that, you know, honestly, I got nothing to complain about. I mean, they're all really, really special, even the ones that sucked.
True.
Go ahead, Jay.
I was going to ask you, man, you spoke about it a little bit, the fact that you've been doing this for such a long time. Could you please share with us what you think contributes to your longevity and success?
I think longevity and success comes down to talent and tenacity. Amen. And obviously you need talent, but the longevity comes from the tenacity of continuing to push, continuing to push yourself, continuing to want to explore, continuing to want to evolve with the times. Mm-hmm. Continuing to want to find new things to do and not be complacent and it's talent and tenacity. But as much as the talent is important, like I said, the tenacity and the drive it sounds crazy. It sounds like a sixth grade gym class speech, but the never giving up, because there's so many ups and downs and variables in a career, and you just have to wake up every day and like you have to want it and need it. You have to need it. It's not, show business is not for anybody who wants to dip their toes in the water. You have to be in the water, under the water, whether it's really hot, really cold, whether it's wavy, whether it's calm. You have to stay in that water.
Yeah, you can't be a hobbyist. You got to want this. You got to be in it.
Exactly.
We got a few minutes. We got to move over to some other good stuff, man. The Improv Orlando. Don't go get your tickets January 20th, 21st. I know you're a big Knicks fan. What do you feel about the Giants this year?
The Giants are going to go to Philadelphia.
Talk about it.
The Giants are going to go to Philadelphia this weekend and upset the Eagles. Jalen Hurts is still hurt. That is going to be a big factor. The Giants are peaking. I know we just got our butts kicked by Philly in the Meadowlands, but that's in the past. Our team has gotten better since then, and it's going to be a tough game. Philly fans don't like the Giants. The Giants don't like Philly fans. It's the NFL playoffs, but I think we're going to go to Philly and win. And then because we're going to Philly and winning, we're going to the Super Bowl.
All right. Yeah, you heard
the energy.
You heard it there. You heard it there. You heard it there. I know you're a hip hop guy. We got a couple minutes before we get you out of here. January 21st, Orlando Improv, Michael Rapaport. I know you're a hip hop guy. You did the Beats, Rhymes of Life documentary. Since you're a hip hop guy, before we get you out of here, you got to give us your top 5, bro.
Ooh, on the spot, Ken.
Top 5 MCs. It's an interchangeable list.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with just a different top 5 today. I'm gonna go with Ice Cube.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to go with Ghostface Killer. I see the time. I'm watching it.
You good?
Okay.
I'm going to go with Big Daddy Kane.
Okay.
Wow. I'm going to go with Mos Def.
Okay.
And I'm going to go. I'm going to go with Scarface.
Oh,
That's a different top 5 than normal. I could go another 5 and another 5 after that, but I wanted to make it a little bit different than the main, guys you normally hear.
Yeah. Cube and Kane stay in my top 5.
Amen.
Ice Cube and Big Daddy Kane have always been in my top 5. I'm 45. They've always been in my top 5, man. Well, brother, thank you so much for joining us. Tell them everybody where they can follow you at, my friend.
You can follow me at Michael Rapaport everywhere. And like the guy said, I'll be in Orlando all weekend, Friday and Saturday at the Improv. I can't wait to be down there. I can't wait to do the shows. And I'm looking forward to great shows. I'm looking forward to some great NFL. And I'm looking forward to the Giants duking it out and winning versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And I appreciate you guys having me on the show. And I appreciate the support sincerely.
Ain't no problem, brother. Thanks for being here, man. Michael Rapaport, the ImprovOrlando.com. We January 20th, 21st. Go get your tickets. My brother, thank you so much for kicking it with us tonight. We appreciate it, man. Hey guys, we gotta take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Real Radio 104.1.